The church bells tolled like a death knell, echoing through the rain-soaked streets of suburban Chicago. But Serenity couldn't suppress the bitter laugh that escaped her lips as she stared at the polished oak coffin. There lay Autumn, her stepsister, the one who'd always been the family's black sheep, the outspoken lesbian who'd shattered their fragile facade of normalcy. Serenity's amusement wasn't from grief. It was from relief, a twisted satisfaction that the source of so much chaos was finally silenced. But as the eulogy droned on, a sealed envelope slipped from the pastor's hands, its contents about to unravel everything she thought she'd buried deep inside. Serenity shifted in her pew, the wooden seat creaking under her weight, her mind racing back to the day their parents married. She was 15 then, Autumn 16, thrown together in a blended family that felt more like a battlefield. Autumn had arrived with her defiant streak, her cropped hair and rainbow pins, announcing her sexuality like a war cry at the dinner table. "I'm gay, deal with it," she'd said, eyes blazing at their conservative father, who clutched his Bible like a shield. Serenity had watched in horror, her own heart pounding with a fear she couldn't name. Why did Autumn's words stir something forbidden in her? She pushed it down, aligning with the family's disapproval, whispering judgments to fit in. But now with Autumn gone, killed in a senseless car accident, Serenity felt a hollow victory. No more awkward holidays, no more sidelong glances from neighbors whispering about that girl. As the service ended, mourners filed past the coffin, murmuring condolences. Serenity's mother, Elaine, gripped her arm, tears streaming. She was troubled, but she was family, Elaine whispered, her voice cracking. Serenity nodded, forcing a somber expression, but inside, she seethed. Troubled? Autumn had chosen to be an outcast, flaunting her relationships, bringing home girlfriends who made everyone uncomfortable. Serenity had always been the good daughter, the straight-A student, the one dating boys from church youth group, the one who volunteered at soup kitchens to polish the family's image. Yet in quiet moments she'd envied Autumn's freedom, the way she loved without apology. "Stop it," Serenity thought, clenching her fists. "That's not you." The envelope was handed to her by the pastor, his face grave. "Autumn left this for you, to be opened after the funeral." Serenity's stomach twisted. What could Autumn possibly have to say now? She tucked it into her purse, planning to burn it later. But curiosity gnawed at her as she drove home through the downpour, the wipers slashing rhythmically. Parking in the driveway of their shared family home, now eerily quiet without Autumn's music blaring, she tore open the seal. The letter was short, Autumn's handwriting bold and unapologetic. "Serenity, I know your secret. I've always known. You're just like me. Don't waste your life hiding. Love, Autumn." P.S. Check the attic box labeled Memories. Her blood ran cold. Just like her? No, that couldn't be. Serenity's mind flashed to stolen glances in high school locker rooms, the way her heart raced around her best friend Mia. The relationships with men that felt performative, empty. She'd convinced herself it was a phase, a confusion born from Autumn's influence. But Autumn knew? How? Trembling, she climbed the attic stairs, dust motes dancing in the flashlight beam. The box was there, tucked behind old Christmas decorations. Inside, photos, Serenity at 16, kissing a girl at a party, her face flushed with what looked like joy. Letters she'd written but never sent, confessing crushes on women. How had Autumn gotten these? Betrayal burned hot in her chest. Autumn had spied on her, collected evidence like some twisted guardian. Serenity sank to the floor, sobs racking her body. All those years of judging Autumn, calling her sinful behind her back, aligning with their father's rants about God's plan. It was all a shield for her own fears. The family had pressured Autumn relentlessly. Therapy sessions to fix her, threats to cut her off financially, social isolation at church events. Serenity had participated, hoping to distance herself from the same label. Now the hypocrisy stared back at her. "What have I done?" she whispered to the empty attic. The weight of her denial crashed down, memories flooding in, Autumn's tearful pleas for understanding. The night she came out and their father slammed the door, declaring her no daughter of mine. Serenity had stayed silent, complicit. That night, sleep evaded her. She paced her room, the letter clutched in her hand. Coming out now would destroy everything. The perfect life she'd built, the engagement to her boyfriend Mark, the job at the conservative law firm. Mark was kind, stable, everything her family approved of. But did she love him? Or was he just another layer of camouflage? Autumn's death had been a catalyst, the accident caused by a drunk driver, but in Serenity's mind, the family's rejection had driven her to recklessness. Late nights out, seeking solace in bars. Guilt twisted like a knife. Had her own hidden truth contributed to Autumn's pain? The next morning, Elaine called a family meeting. Their father, Robert, sat at the head of the table, his face etched with lines of unresolved anger. "We need to move on," he said gruffly. Autumn's choices brought this on herself. Serenity's throat tightened. Choices? As if love was a choice. She wanted to scream to defend Autumn posthumously, but fear held her back. Instead she nodded, the envelope burning a hole in her pocket. Little did she know, this was just the beginning. The secret would fester, forcing confrontation she'd long avoided. As days turned to weeks, Serenity's facade cracked. At work she snapped at colleagues, her mind elsewhere. Mark noticed, pressing for answers during dinner dates. "What's wrong, babe? You've been distant." She brushed him off, but inside turmoil raged. Autumn's letter haunted her dreams, visions of her stepsister alive, accusing eyes piercing through the veil. "You laughed at my coffin," Dream Autumn whispered. "But you're the real joke." Waking in cold sweats, Serenity questioned everything. Was hiding worth the soul-crushing loneliness? Society's judgments loomed large, friends who'd shunned Autumn, the church's sermons on morality. Yet a spark ignited. Maybe authenticity was the only path to peace. One evening, sorting through Autumn's belongings, Serenity found a journal. Entries detailed the pain of rejection, but also moments of joy in her relationships. "Today, I kissed Lena under the stars. It felt right, despite everything." Envy surged through Serenity. She'd never allowed herself that. The journal revealed Autumn's suspicion about her. "Serenity stares too long at women. She's fighting it, like I did at first." Compassion bloomed amid the anger. Autumn hadn't collected those items to expose her, perhaps to protect her, to show she wasn't alone. The realization hit like a thunderclap. Serenity had betrayed not just Autumn, but herself. The family's pressure had molded them both. Autumn rebelled, Serenity conformed. Now with Autumn gone, the choice was hers. Continue the lie or embrace the truth, no matter the cost. But the path ahead promised upheaval, starting with a confrontation that would shake their foundations. Serenity's hands trembled as she clutched Autumn's journal. The pages a map of unspoken sorrows and stolen joys. She slammed it shut, heart pounding, and shoved it into a drawer as if hiding it could erase the truths within. But the damage was done. The seed of doubt had sprouted, weaving through her thoughts like ivy choking a tree. Work became a blur. At the law firm, where polished suits and conservative values reigned, Serenity drafted contracts with mechanical precision. But her mind wandered to what-ifs. What if she'd supported Autumn openly? What if she'd admitted her own attractions years ago? The office gossip about alternative lifestyles made her skin crawl, colleagues joking about pride parades as freak shows. She forced laughs, but each one felt like swallowing glass. "Get it together," she berated herself inwardly. "This is your life. Don't throw it away." Mark proposed a weekend getaway to the lake house, hoping to rekindle their spark. Serenity agreed, packing with feigned enthusiasm, but the drive north was tense. He chattered about wedding plans, their engagement ring glinting on her finger like a shackle, while she stared out the window, memories assaulting her. Autumn's coming out dinner replayed vividly, Robert's face reddening, Elaine's pleas for calm, Autumn storming out. Serenity had stayed, comforting her parents, whispering, "She'll come around." But Autumn never did. Instead, she forged her own path, dating women who challenged the status quo. At the lake, Mark built a fire, his arms around her as they watched the flames dance. "I love you," he murmured, kissing her neck. Serenity stiffened, the touch feeling wrong, like wearing shoes a size too small. "I love you too," she lied, the words ash in her mouth. That night, as he slept, she slipped outside, the cool air biting her skin. Staring at the stars, she whispered to the void, "Autumn, why did you leave me with this?" The journal's words echoed, "Hiding kills you slowly." Was that her fate? Returning home, the pressure mounted. Elaine organized a memorial gathering, inviting extended family who'd long distanced themselves from Autumn's lifestyle. Serenity dreaded it, knowing the conversations would revolve around pity masked as judgment. Such a shame, Aunt Margaret would say, shaking her head. If only she'd chosen differently. Chosen. The word ignited fury in Serenity. Love wasn't a menu item. It was a force unrelenting. The gathering unfolded in their backyard, string lights twinkling against the dusk. Relatives milled about, plates of casseroles in hand, voices low. Serenity hovered on the periphery, nursing a glass of wine. Then Uncle Ted cornered her, his breath sour. Your sister was confused, poor thing. Good thing you're normal, eh? The casual bigotry snapped something inside her. Autumn wasn't confused, she retorted, voice sharp. She was brave. Heads turned, whispers rippling. Elaine pulled her aside, eyes wide. Serenity, what's gotten into you? We're grieving. Grieving? They were erasing. That night, alone in her room, Serenity confronted the mirror. Who are you? She demanded of her reflection. The woman staring back looked exhausted, lines of repression etching her features. The envelope's photos lay scattered on her bed, evidence of a self she'd denied. One showed her with Mia, arms linked, smiles genuine. Mia, her college roommate, the one who'd confess feelings only for Serenity to panic and push her away. It's not like that, she'd said, transferring dorms the next day. Regret flooded her. Mia had moved on, married now, but the what-if lingered. The next blow came from Robert. Over breakfast, he announced plans to donate Autumn's things to charity, to cleanse the house. Serenity's fork clattered. You can't just erase her. His eyes narrowed. She brought shame on us. The church elders still talk. Shame? The word fueled her inner storm. Maybe the shame is ours for not accepting her. The argument escalated, voices rising. Elaine mediated, tears flowing. Please girls, Robert, she's upset. But Serenity pressed on. You drove her away. Your love was conditional. Robert's face contorted. And what about you? Always the perfect one. Don't think I didn't notice how you defended her lately. Suspicion laced his tone. Serenity faltered, the secret teetering on exposure. She retreated, but the seed of rebellion grew. That afternoon, she called Mia, heart racing. Hey, it's been years. Can we talk? Mia's voice was warm, surprised. They met at a coffee shop, the aroma grounding Serenity's nerves. Mia looked the same, curly hair, kind eyes. What's up? She asked, sipping latte. Serenity hesitated, then poured out the story. Autumn's death, the letter, the realizations. I was in love with you back then. But I was scared. Mia's expression softened. I knew. It hurt when you ran. They talked for hours, unpacking the past. Mia was straight, married happily, but the conversation healed old wounds. You deserve to be you, Mia said. Don't let fear win. Emboldened, Serenity broke up with Mark that evening. It's not you, she said, tears streaming. It's me. I can't pretend anymore. He was stunned, hurt. Pretend? What does that mean? She couldn't say it yet, the words too raw. He left angry, slamming the door. Alone, Serenity felt liberated yet terrified. The family's reaction loomed, society's too. But Autumn's voice echoed in her mind. Don't waste your life hiding. As weeks passed, whispers spread. Friends distanced themselves. Church invitations dried up. Serenity's boss called her in, citing distractions, affecting her work. The isolation mirrored Autumn's, a cruel irony. Is this the price? She wondered, staring at old family photos. In one, she and Autumn as teens, arms around each other, before the divide. Tears fell. She'd contributed to that divide, her silence a betrayal. A turning point came at a support group for LGBTQ+ individuals grieving loss. Serenity attended anonymously, heart-pounding. Stories shared resonated. Families torn, secrets buried. One woman spoke of losing her partner to societal pressure-induced suicide. We hide to survive, but it kills us. Serenity shared haltingly, voice breaking. My stepsister died hiding nothing. I hid everything. Support flooded in, a balm to her wounds. Returning home, she confronted Robert and Elaine. "I'm gay," she declared, the words freeing yet frightening. Robert's face paled. "No. Not you too." Elaine wept. The argument raged, Bible verses hurled, accusations of influence. "Autumn corrupted you," Robert shouted. Serenity stood firm. "No, Dad. This is me. Always has been." The fallout was swift. Disownment threats, cold shoulders. But in the pain, clarity emerged. She'd chosen truth over comfort, paying the price Autumn had warned of. The disownment wasn't immediate, but the chill in the house was palpable, like frost creeping over windows in a Chicago winter. Serenity moved through the days on autopilot, her declaration hanging like a guillotine. Robert avoided her, burying himself in work, while Elaine oscillated between tearful pleas and silent accusations. "How could you do this to us?" she'd whisper, as if Serenity's identity was a personal attack. At the law firm, the whispers evolved into outright exclusion. Colleagues who'd once invited her to lunches now passed her in halls with averted eyes. Her boss, Mr. Hargrove, summoned her again. "We've had complaints about your focus. And personal matters." The implication was clear. Her emerging truth didn't fit the firm's image. Serenity's performance reviews tanked, projects reassigned. "Fight it," her inner voice urged, but exhaustion weighed heavy. Was authenticity worth professional ruin? Socially, the fallout deepened. Old friends from church unfriended her on social media, posting veiled statuses about lost souls. One, Sarah, confronted her directly at a grocery store. "I heard about you. It's a phase, right? Pray it away." Serenity's temper flared. "It's not a phase. It's who I am." Sarah's pitying look stung more than anger. "Autumn dragged you down." The words echoed Autumn's struggles, a cycle repeating. In solitude, Serenity grappled with moral quandaries. Had she betrayed Mark by stringing him along? The engagement ring, returned via mail, symbolized her deception. "I used him as a shield," she admitted inwardly, guilt gnawing. And her family, did coming out honor Autumn or selfishly burden them further? Robert's health declined, stress lines deepening. Elaine blamed Serenity. "Your father can't handle this." The maw of doubt opened. Maybe repression was kinder. A beacon emerged in Lena, Autumn's last girlfriend. Serenity found her contact in the journal, reaching out tentatively. "I was Autumn's stepsister. Can we meet?" Lena agreed, her voice warm over the phone. They met at a quiet cafe, Lena's eyes red-rimmed from grief. "Autumn talked about you a lot. Said you were struggling too." Serenity nodded, sharing the letter's revelations. Lena listened, then shared her side. The love they'd built despite obstacles, the plans for a future cut short. "She fought for us. Don't let her fight be in vain." Their conversation sparked something, a tentative connection. Lena's strength mirrored Autumn's, her stories of navigating prejudice inspiring. Society wants us invisible, but visibility is power. Serenity felt seen, understood. As they parted, Lena hugged her. "You're not alone." The touch lingered, stirring unfamiliar warmth. Was this attraction? Or just gratitude? Emboldened, Serenity attended her first Pride event, anonymous in the crowd. Rainbows waved, chants of unity filling the air. For the first time, she felt belonging, not aberration. But a familiar face spotted her. Uncle Ted, there with conservative protesters. His glare promised trouble. That night, he called Robert. "Your daughter's parading her sin." The family confrontation reignited fiercer. Robert demanded she recant. "Go to therapy. Fix this." Serenity refused. "It's not broken." Elaine mediated futilely. "Think of the family." But Serenity countered. "What about thinking of me?" The standoff ended with Robert's ultimatum. "Choose, us or this lifestyle." Tears streamed as she packed a bag. "It's not a choice. It's me." Leaving, the door's click echoed her heartbreak. Couch surfing at a friend's, one of the few who stuck by, Serenity rebuilt. She quit the firm, applying to progressive organizations. Interviews probed her story, turning pain into purpose. "I've lived the closet's toll," she'd say. A job offer came from an LGBTQ plus advocacy group, low pay but meaningful. This is for Autumn, she thought, accepting. Romantically, hesitance lingered. Lena reached out again, coffee turning to dinners. Conversations deepened, vulnerabilities shared. Autumn would want you happy, Lena said one night, their hands brushing. Serenity's heart raced, fear mixed with desire. But ethics nagged. Was pursuing Autumn's ex a betrayal? The moral gray area tormented her. She'd understand, Lena assured, but doubt persisted. Society's backlash intensified. Online trolls targeted her after a viral post from the Pride event. Freak like her sister. Threats arrived, anonymous but chilling. Serenity's resolve wavered. Is this worth it? Nights brought nightmares. Autumn's accident replaying, her own face in the wreckage. Awakening, she'd affirm. Truth or death inside. A pivotal moment came at a family wedding, cousin Emily's. Invited reluctantly, Serenity attended, chin high. Whispers followed, but she engaged, defending her path. Autumn taught me to live authentically. Some relatives softened, others hardened. Robert approached stiffly. This isn't you. Serenity met his gaze. It is. Accept it or lose me. Elaine pulled him away, but a crack appeared, perhaps hope. As months passed, healing began. Serenity volunteered at shelters, helping youth like her former self. Stories of rejection mirrored hers, fueling advocacy. Lena became a confidant, their bond evolving slowly. One evening, over wine, Lena confessed, I like you, Serenity, more than friends. Panic surged, timing loyalty. Autumn. Lena nodded. She'd want us both to move on. They kissed tentatively, a spark igniting. But guilt shadowed joy. The internal conflict peaked. Was this right? Betraying Autumn's memory? Society's voice echoed, unnatural, immoral. Yet her heart whispered otherwise. Deciding to pause, Serenity focused inward. Therapy helped unpack layers. Family trauma, self-denial. You're allowed happiness, the counselor said. Reconciliation flickered. Elaine called, voice soft. I miss you. They met, tears flowing. I was wrong. About Autumn, about you. Hugs mended fractures, though Robert resisted. Progress, not perfection. Serenity's awakening culminated in a speech at an advocacy event. Hiding costs lives, literally and figuratively. I lost my sister to a world that wouldn't accept her. Don't let it happen to you. Applause roared, but inside she questioned. Had her choices honored Autumn, or complicated grief? The advocacy event's echoes faded, but Serenity's words lingered in her mind. A mantra against encroaching doubts. Life post-coming out was a tightrope. Freedom on one side, fallout on the other. She navigated it daily, each step a test of resolve. Work at the advocacy group invigorated her. Cases poured in, teens disowned, couples denied rights. Serenity counseled a young woman, Riley, whose story mirrored hers. Family pressure, hidden crushes. I laughed at my sister's bravery once, Serenity confessed. Don't make my mistake. Riley's tears mirrored her own past, reinforcing purpose. But victories were bittersweet. For every win, losses reminded her of Autumn's irreversible end. Romantically, Lena persisted gently. Dinners became walks in the park, hands entwined. This feels right, Lena said under blooming cherry trees. Serenity agreed, but ethics clawed. Autumn's journal entries about Lena glowed with love. How could she step into that? Am I replacing her? She agonized inwardly. One night, she pulled away. We can't. It's too soon, too complicated. Lena's hurt eyes stung. Autumn wouldn't want us lonely. They parted uncertainly, the decision a self-inflicted wound. Family ties strained further. Elaine's outreach increased, lunches where she'd probe softly. Your father's softening. Give him time. But Robert's silence spoke volumes. A health scare, his hypertension flaring, brought Serenity to the hospital. Seeing him frail, anger melted. Dad, I love you. But I won't change. He grunted, stubborn like your sister. It was progress, acknowledgement without acceptance. Society's undercurrents surged. A local bill threatening LGBTQ plus rights mobilized protests. Serenity marched, signs high. Love is love. Counter-protesters jeered, faces twisted in hate. One recognized her, a former church member. Your family's curse. The verbal barbs hit home, echoing childhood sermons. That night alone she crumbled. Why fight when it hurt so much? Autumn's letter resurfaced. You're just like me. Strength renewed. Betrayal struck unexpectedly. Sarah, the grocery store confronter, leaked old photos, the ones from Autumn's box, to social media. Captions screamed, another one falls. Serenity's phone exploded with notifications, support mixed with vitriol. Work called. Handle this discreetly. Panic rose. Who had access? Then realization. She'd shown Elaine the box during a vulnerable moment. Had her mother betrayed her? Confronting Elaine, tears flew. Did you give Sarah those photos? Elaine denied vehemently, but guilt flickered. I mentioned them to the prayer group. For guidance. Betrayal burned. Guidance? You exposed me. The argument severed fragile bonds. Elaine sobbed. I thought they could help. Serenity stormed out, trust shattered. The photos spread amplified harassment, emails, calls. She changed numbers, but paranoia lingered. In isolation, moral dilemmas intensified. Had coming out been selfish, dragging family into scandal? Robert's health worsened post-leak. Elaine blamed her. Your choices affect us all. Serenity countered inwardly. Your judgments affect me. The cycle of blame tormented. Therapy sessions dissected it. Boundaries are key. Their reactions aren't your fault. Reconnection with Lena offered solace. I'm here, Lena texted. They met, apologies exchanged. I was scared, Serenity admitted. Lena nodded. Me too. But life's short, Autumn taught us that. They rebuilt slowly, friendship first. Dates followed, cautious joy blooming. A kiss under stars felt like redemption, but shadows loomed. Was this honoring Autumn or exploiting grief? High drama unfolded at a family dinner Elaine insisted on. Robert attended begrudgingly. Tensions simmered as food passed. Then Robert spoke. I read Autumn's journal. You gave it to your mother. Serenity tensed. She wrote about pain I caused. His voice cracked. I'm sorry. To both of you. Tears flowed, forgiveness tentative. But healing began, admissions bridging gaps. Serenity's advocacy escalated. Testifying against the bill, she shared her story. Denial destroyed my sister. Don't let it destroy others. The chamber hushed, her words impactful. The bill failed, a victory tasting sweet. Media coverage followed, dubbing her the voice of resilience. But fame brought scrutiny. Past hypocrisies unearthed. Interviews probed. You judged your sister. Why? Honesty prevailed. Fear. But I've learned. Personal growth peaked in a moment of clarity. Visiting Autumn's grave, Serenity whispered. You were right. I'm living for both of us. Flowers placed, peace settled. Lena joined her often, their relationship deepening. I love you, Lena said one day. Serenity reciprocated, guilt fading. Autumn would approve. Yet, challenges persisted. A workplace rival questioned her ethics. Dating a client's ex, Lena volunteered. Conflict of interest? Whispers spread, forcing disclosure. The board cleared her, but trust eroded. Is love worth professional risk? She pondered. Society's evolution clashed with regression. A church friend reached out, apologizing for past judgments. You've opened my eyes. Small wins accumulated, but backlash reminded. Progress uneven. As the year turned, Serenity reflected. Losses, friends, security, balanced by gains. Authenticity, love. But the price weighed. Had her path been right? The question haunted, fueling ongoing debates within. Serenity stood at the podium of another advocacy rally, the crowd's energy pulsing like a heartbeat. Her voice steady as she recounted the journey from denial to defiance. We pay dearly for truth, she said. Eyes scanning faces mirroring her struggles. But silence costs more. Applause thundered, but inside, the toll registered, sleepless nights, fractured bonds. Post-rally Lena waited, embraced grounding. Their relationship had solidified. Months of navigating grief turning to shared future. Proud of you, Lena murmured. Serenity smiled, but doubts whispered. Had she truly earned this happiness? Autumn's shadow lingered, a moral compass. Dates now included toasts to her memory, but was it enough? Family reconciliation inched forward. Dinners became regular, Robert's gruffness softening to questions. Tell me about your work. Serenity shared cautiously, bridging worlds. Elaine beamed. We're learning. Yet slips occurred, Robert's offhand comments on tradition. Patience tested, but love persisted. Forgiveness is a choice, Serenity reminded herself, echoing therapy wisdom. Professionally, accolades mounted. A promotion to director, her story inspiring funding. But envy brewed, colleagues murmuring about using tragedy. A confrontation with a subordinate. You judged your sister, now you're a hero? Serenity owned it. I was wrong. Growth hurts. The admission diffused tension, but self-doubt festered. Society's mirror reflected progress and peril. Pride Month brought celebrations, Serenity marching with Lena, hands linked. Joy overflowed, but a heckler's shout. Go back to the closet. Revived fears. Online support groups thrived, but trolls persisted. A death threat arrived. Police involved. Is visibility suicide? She wondered, paranoia peaking. Internal conflicts climaxed in a dream. Autumn alive, accusing. You took my life. Waking, Serenity journaled furiously. I didn't cause your death, but I contributed to your pain. Atonement drove her, donating to causes in Autumn's name, speaking at schools on acceptance. A pivotal betrayal surfaced. Investigating the photo leak, Serenity discovered Sarah's source. Not Elaine, but Mark. Bitter post-breakup, he'd hacked her old emails, finding scans she'd foolishly saved. Confronting him, rage boiled. Why? His sneer. You lied to me. The revelation shattered remnants of trust in her past self. I did. And I'm sorry. Filing a report, closure came with his apology, forced but freeing. Healing deepened with Mia's return. A reunion lunch. You've changed, Mia noted. Serenity nodded. For the better. They laughed over old crushes, friendship renewed. Life's twists, Mia said. Indeed. As seasons shifted, Serenity proposed to Lena at the lake house, symbolic reclamation. Will you? Tears, yes. Planning a wedding invited drama. Family invitations. Robert hesitated, then accepted. If it makes you happy. The ceremony, intimate, blended traditions with rainbows. Vows exchanged. Joy triumphed over trials. But perfection eluded. Post-honeymoon, a family crisis. Robert's full health decline, confession time. Bedside, he admitted. I pushed Autumn away. Regret it every day. Serenity held his hand. We all have regrets. Let's move forward. His nod sealed mending. Advocacy evolved. Serenity authoring a book on her story, Shadows of Truth. Launches drew crowds, debates sparking. Is coming out always right? One attendee asked. Serenity pondered. Context matters. In quiet moments, she reflected on the Odyssey, from laughing at a coffin to embracing her essence. Losses, innocence, relationships, gains, self-love. The narrative's logic tightened, each decision a domino falling. Yet the ultimate question loomed, gifting no easy answer. Was betraying one's truth for family peace ever justifiable? Or does authenticity demand every sacrifice, no matter the wreckage left behind?